Good morning, computer art students. Today we are going to start young to old. And what I want you to be able to do is understand how to use Clone Stamp Tool, have an awareness towards detail in digital art, and then I want you to create a version of yourself as an elderly person, like you're 80 years old or something. Okay. So here we go. To do that, we're going to take a look at the Maple Grove Senior assignment drive, and we're going to go to number 3, young to old, and in here we'll find some pics of senior citizens. There's some examples there that I've done in the past, and there's a Word document that describes the assignment if you want to read about it. That's okay too. And then here's some examples, although I want you to try to find a picture. I need to delete these probably because I need you to find a picture that is at least 2 megs. That's around 2000K. So these other ones are a bit small, and you're going to get some resolution problems. Okay, if it says 25K, that's pretty darn small. Okay, so I want you to find something that's a little bigger. Okay, so you're also going to use Photo Booth to take a picture of yourself. There I am. It's really early, and I apologize. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, go to Photo Booth, and I need you to take a shot of yourself. And whatever picture you take, you find in Google or whatever you do a Google search, try to match the pose of that picture. All right, so you can get it, the angle, the pose, the profile, the same. All right. Okay, so let's start up in Photoshop. We're gonna take this into Photoshop. I'm in Photoshop now. What I want to do is kind of crop this down first. So I'm just going to head and I'm just going to crop part of this out. All right, using the crop tool. I want to size these the best I can. So I'm going to go over here to this image. I have them working on 2 separate working spaces. Okay, so if they're together like this, obviously with 2 different tabs, you take it and you drag it off. All right. Okay, so in case you're wondering about that. Apple T, hold down Shift, and I'm just going to scale this back a little bit so the size matches. Okay, just like that, and then I can go ahead and crop it. Because I want this head to be pretty much the same size as my head here. Okay, looks pretty close. Do it one more time, it's a little bit wider. I'm looking at the nose and the mouth. Okay. One more time, let me bring him in a little bit. That might be a little better. Okay, so just size up your pictures the same right away. And then we're going to go to grayscale on your Photo Booth picture. So if we go to Image, Adjustments, grayscale is down here. When we go to Desaturate, Shift Apple U will also desaturate the picture. Or we can also work in grayscale mode. Okay, you can change it there as well. Alright, so now we're ready to use the, I'm going to change the brightness and contrast slightly of my picture. So go to brightness and contrast because I want to match it to this one slightly. Alright, so just doctor it up a bit. Try to match visually the brightness and contrast of the picture. And for the most part, that should work somewhere in there like that. Maybe take down contrast. Just play around with it until you get it to look the way it should look. Alright. Might have to do a little bit of tweaking later on, but that should look okay. Alright. Here we go. Clone Stamp. Clone Stamp tool is over here on this toolbar. If you hit S on the keyboard, it should pop up, no problem. Okay, and we're going to have to adjust the size of the brush. So let's take the brush size down to, let's start out with 80 for right now. Maybe now let's go down to 50. Yep, around 50, that's fine. Opacity and flow should be at 100% with a mode of normal. So we're going to have to go back and forth between these documents here, okay? So I'm just going to shrink it down and kind of get it in the way here. Just line it up, kind of side by side. And what I want to do is I want to copy over from this picture over to here. Okay, so what the clone stamp tool does is it selects from one area, and if I hold down the Alt key or the Option key on your keyboard, okay, it allows you to select. Okay, so I'm going to do the forehead first. I'm going to select the forehead, and then I'm going to go over to this document, and let's shrink this down so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, so it's going to select from here and brush over to here. Okay, so I'm just kind of brushing those wrinkles slightly into here. Okay, get some of those liver spots and things too. I'm thinking that this image is bigger. Okay, so here's the problem. We need to get both these pictures at 100%. Okay. Notice that the size increased slightly. So now I'm okay. So now I gotta fix something. I gotta go back. Okay, step backwards. So now I gotta do it and fix this here again. Alright, we're back. I took some time and I scaled this down. So basically when you start with your two images, your photo booth has to be in the grayscale, but also the view has to be 100%. Okay, because I was getting some really big imagery here. Okay, so one thing we can also do is, let's do this. Instead of working on two separate workspaces, let's go ahead and let's cut this one out. Let's go ahead and select it, and then Apple X or Edit, Cut from here, and let's paste it into this one. Alright, so what we want to do now is, when we cut it from there, let's go to Image Canvas Size. We're going to extend the canvas out to the right. Okay, so let's just add to the width. Let's just double that. Make it 10. Okay, maybe make it a little bit more. Image Canvas Size, and let's just say 12. Alright. Okay, let me try that one more time. Canvas size, make sure you hit this over arrow so that's going to extend the canvas over that way. Add in 12, type in 12, and that should be good. Let's paste now. Edit paste, because we can always crop this out later. Alright, so let's just move this over here. And now we can crop out this excess information. We'll just crop this just like that. Okay? Alright, we'll crop this other stuff out later. So now we're going to work on the same workspace. I think that'll be easier for you when we work with the clone tool. Alright, so now we have two different layers over here. We just have to pay attention to that when we are cloning over. Alright, so we're on this layer. We're going to select from the forehead, and then we're going to click on our background. Let's unlock this background so we can brush on it. So if you hold down the Alt key or the Option key and double click on the background picture, it should unlock it. Alright, so now we're good to go. And notice I have my, let's select from here again. Let's go back to here. Let's select the forehead. And now it should tell you inside that circle where we're brushing from. If you notice over on the old man, now we are getting that crosshairs, and we're going to get, that's going to select, we're going to brush in wherever we select with the crosshairs. Now, I need to make multiple selections here because I'm running out of forehead here, so go back to this layer, select again, go back to this layer, and now we can kind of brush that in and make it look smooth. Okay? I think that looks okay for that area. Now I kind of already look like this old man already without doing anything to it, but I'll keep going. So here we go. And then let's do the eye area right over here. Select there, go back to my layer. I'm just going to brush in some of those wrinkles. You gotta have to be careful. Attention to detail is key here. You don't want to go too fast. You're not like brushing in like the whole area. You want to stay away from the burn victim look, all right? You don't want the burn victim look, and that's when you're really going crazy with the clone stamp, and you're just kind of brushing it in haphazardly, and you don't want to do that because your picture is not going to look realistic. All right, you just want to be careful and really brush in, be meaningful, purposeful with the clone stamp tool. It's almost like you're a painter and you're really paying attention to detail. And so yeah, I think for the most part, you know what? I don't think many elderly folk have a goatee, so I'm going to go ahead and recreate that chin. All right. So dum. Now, of course, you know, this is just a start. I need to go back and kind of fix some things with this face because obviously the color is a little different. That's why it's good. It's always good to kind of work in the color matching first. All right, before you go and start doing this, because now I have to go back and fix some things. Get rid of that huge blemish on my neck. All right, and there it's starting to look good. I can go over to the smudge tool a little bit and kind of smudge this area down into here. Try to make it look blended a little bit. But I'll just decrease the size of my brush and really get if you want to get accurate and detailed with this. You know, play around with the different sizes of your brush, and go back to your clone tool, and then you know really get detailed. Pay attention to detail. All right, click there, go back over to here, and really try to work that in. It's I can always crop some of that off too later. Go back to the smudge tool, try to smudge some of this area together. The thing about the smudge tool is it does blur, it blurs the pixels from time to time, but for the most part that does it. Now we're going to want to, I'm almost out of time here, but we're going to want to clean this up a bit. So if we go over to the dodge and burn tool, if we go to the burn tool, we can now try to burn in some of this darker the lighter tones. Try to make them a little darker, try to match your skin tone a little bit better. Take down the exposure to maybe 10%. You want to be subtle on this. Okay, do it in little steps. Okay, anything that looks too light, go back and darken up. All right, but you want to keep the exposure down. I think I might have had the exposure too high on that. So if we go back to the dodge tool, make sure the exposure is still back down to that 10%. We can work that in, work it lighter in there. Okay. The dodge tool is going to lighten the pixel. The burn tool is going to darken the pixels. These are photographic terms. When you burn and dodge an exposure, you are adding more light to darken the image, and the dodge is taking away light time, exposure time, to darken the image. Sorry, to lighten the image. That was digital photography. If you take a photography class, you'll learn that. All right. Anyway, I'm out of time here. So good luck, you guys. Let's see how old you can get. All right. Good luck.